looking in here. Huh? But don't you want to see how big it is? Yes, but later. For reals? Well, if we go see the T-Rex, you can take your picture with it. I know you want to.
This is Alma, a character from the PBS Kids show Alma's Way. She makes modern PBS Kids look like a cartoon brat spree. Why am I talking about modern PBS Kids, you might be asking? I mean, American shows are not my thing, you might think. Well, it's because that has recently been a new trend and I planned on making a whole PBS Kids video, but since it was too hard work, this is the PBS Kids video. Now, how do we go from Cyber Chase to Arthur to this nonsense? We went from good shows like Word Girl to Lila and the Loop and Alma's Way. Now, in case you don't know what Alma's Way is, it's a show about a Puerto Rican family, and the girl was named Alma. I don't know the dad's name. The mom's name is Mami, as Puerto Ricans call their moms, and the brother's name is Junior, aka the victim of Alma's badness. They all live in the suburb of New York, America, the Bronx, and it teaches kids about cultures from other countries. I made a post asking you to describe it with one word, and since most of you, such as Cat in the Box and Britain's Youngest Comedian, don't know what the show is about, this is the show. There's an episode where they go to the museum and Alma bullies her brother into looking at a T-Rex in a Norman Price "you're scared" style with an evil tone. Now today we are here to see if Alma is truly worse than Daniel Tiger and Caillou. Well, grab your popcorn, subscribe, like, and let's dive right in. So, we are going to compare the episode where Alma is at the museum with Junior and her family to the Daniel Tiger episode, It's Not Okay to Hurt Someone, which I know I ranted about that episode like 60 times, but I'm still going to compare it to see if these two are worse than each other. So to start off, Alma. What are you up to today, Alma? So, it starts off with her and her brother at the museum. Alma's brother, Junior, doesn't want to see how big the T-Rex is, but Alma does. So she says, "Surely you want to see it, Junior." In other words, she's bullying her brother into looking at something he doesn't want to look at. I know it sounds like a certain Welsh gingerhead arsonist named Norman Price who bullies his friends into doing stuff they don't want to do, whether it be a flare or look for dinosaur footprints because he'll end up putting your life in danger and considering himself as a criminal. Seriously, Norman's basically asking himself to be on the wanted poster of Pontypandy. But Alma will be on the wanted poster of the Bronx if she does this, and I'll show you why she will be the Bronx most wanted. And why this makes modern PBS Kids worse than it already is.
Let's go see the T-Rex. I'm still looking in here. Huh? But don't you want to see how big it is?
No, Alma, because Junior doesn't want him, so stop being a bit self-centered to him. He doesn't want to do what he doesn't want to do. He wants to do what he wants to do. You want to do what you want him to do, and that is being rude.
See how big it is? Yes, but later.
I feel for you, Junior. It must be sad having to deal with an older sister who bullies you into looking at stuff and is always bullied by a girl who whines. Well, not all the time. She's usually decent, but this time she's a bit out of character. Let's put it. Just like the time where Lady Lou was out of character.
For reals? Well, if we go see the T-Rex, you can take your picture with it.
Alma, I know you ain't being rude to anyone, but it gets worse. The Puerto Rican pesky brat decides to keep bullying
Junior.
Alma, and you know what? Mommy and the daddy don't punish her. Yeah, what an original, Mum and Dad. You see your daughter's disgusting behavior and then you decide to let her get away with it. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Pushover parenting is uncommon, especially in cartoons. Meanwhile, Junior is busy looking at the fossil, while Alma has a sneaky idea of telling her brother, "Time's up, let's go." But then he spits facts by saying, "That's not fair." And then he points out that her big-headed sister is being a snooty brat. In other words, she's rushing him. Good for you, Junior, spitting out facts. You're now my new favorite character in the show. The dad, who's basically the man of the day, has to swoop in, and Father of the Year tells them to stop holding this stupid grudge over a dinosaur and rushing each other. Now Alma has to make a smart choice. Maybe you can do it with voice Bedoy so the Brativerse can stop. But if that happened, this video wouldn't even exist, and I wouldn't even be here reviewing this on my phone. Now everything is hunky-dory and Alma learns her ways. She realizes to herself that Junior likes everything, but she decides that she was in the wrong and finally stands up for her wrongdoings. She realizes her stupid mistakes and then apologizes to her brother, which most cartoon brats will never do that. Oh my gosh, she actually said sorry.
Let's split up. That way Junior can take his time, and I can see what I want to see. Then we can each look at the museum in our own ways.
Oh my gosh, see, she said something better than sorry. Oh my gosh, she literally said something better than sorry, saying that they can split up in teams to see what's at the museum. Finally, a cartoon brat is learning from their mistakes. The impossible finally came reality. But let's see how Daniel Tiger handles this. Well, at the end of the day, I still wouldn't say Alma is worse than Daniel because Daniel managed to almost whack a baby in the head, let alone his own sister. I like how the mom stopped him before he could hit her head and make her cry. But still, Daniel was in the wrong. He should have controlled his anger and not have been angry. He should have just counted to 3 like grabs 1, 2, 3 instead of getting mad and throwing a tantrum. But guess what? It will show that this troublesome tiger toddler will never learn, as he thought of hitting his own mom with a toy even though she's the person who loves him the most. Like, dude, put the fist away, put the toy away. But luckily he manages to have self-control, unlike Alma. I mean, Alma did have self-control, and then he stops himself. Because apparently, PBS Kids decide that cartoon brats is something they don't want, and they took a break from making DW and Cailloux in good shows, which doesn't make sense, to making bad shows with good characters. And the cartoon brats that are in these new shows manage to have some self-control and stop themselves. Unlike Lila from Lila and the Loop and Dylan from Cole the Collector. But the fact that we'll never have Arthur because the Trump administration didn't like the way that PBS Kids were funding, so they decided to take the money from them because they thought that PBS Kids was a rip-off of CBeebies. But it reveals that PBS Kids are here to stay, but now these are the shows they're making. Weather Hunters. At least that's a brat-free show. Unlike Cole the Collector, who has 2 brats, Dylan and Nico. Now, who do I think is worse? Do I think Alma is worse than Daniel? Well, no. Why? It's because while Alma did make a smart choice and Daniel did the same thing, at the end of the day, she never tried to punch Junior or push him off a chair. So, in my opinion, as I always say in these videos, little tiger can stuff it, but Alma can zip it. So before the video ends, I just want to state that I am officially monetized on my channel, so when you are watching my videos, you are basically helping me make money, so that is absolutely an unbelievable thing. And I definitely might get more views, and who knows, we probably might hit the big 1 million views next year or this year. So, without wasting any more time, bye, like, and subscribe.